Good morning YouTube, Dave here, back out on Dartmoor again for another hike. Today I've parked in the South Zeal car park. There's a little free car park in the recreation ground at South Zeal. So I parked there and I'm heading up onto the moor now. I'm hiking all the way up to Cosdon Beacon. That's my high point of the day. And I'm kind of moving up the side of it now, down this little kind of country lane trackway. It's not a public road, it's just access to the farms on the side of the beacon, but it's very steep. I've just had the notification off my Garmin saying that I've climbed 40 sets of stairs today, or the equivalent of anyway, in height, and I'm only 13 minutes into the walk, so it's going to be a lot of climbing today. It's gonna be a tough one. It's warm as well. It was a little bit chilly when I left the house, but the sun's come out now. It was cloudy when I left, and yeah, in the sort of 15 minutes or so since I started the hike, it's really warmed up. Oh, right, oh, it levels out a little bit here. Oh, for about 20 meters it levels out. But we've seen Cosdon Beacon a lot in previous videos, and I thought I'll get up there and see what it looks like in person, see what the view's like from the top. It looks pretty barren from what I've seen in the previous videos. We can normally see it when we're on the North Moor. We saw it from the opposite side to normal when I went over to Stone Tor and headed out to Rival Tor. I did that walk there, Kennan Hill, that sort of thing. But yeah, we're going to see it from on top now, and a lot of climbing to do this morning. Cosdon Beacon's the high point, but after that I'm going to try and carry on to Little Hound Tor and Hound Tor, which are the two tours kind of further along the ridge from Cosdon Beacon. Some beautiful horses in that field, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But a lot of climbing today, a lot of descending at the end of the day, of course. And in fact, we've got our first look up at the rest of the hill, and that's not all the way to the top there, but you can see there's a lot of up still to go. This is cute. If I can do it one-handed. Oh wow. This is lovely. I think I've got some money on me, so I won't take any up with me, but I may well stop in on the way back and yeah, get some if I've got some money on me. But yeah, I might grab some on the way back. Here we are, heading out onto the moor proper. Just up there. Check that gate's closed. And we are off. Still got so much climbing left to go, look at that. Doesn't look like it's getting any closer at the moment. But we are getting there, we're making progress. It's turned into a glorious morning. There's still a few clouds, but there's a lot of blue sky, especially off in that direction. And already, look, the views are opening up. Over there, that's down where we've come from. South Zeal's down there somewhere. We may well be able to see the village when we get higher up onto the moor. Oh. Right, let's make some progress. I'll catch up in a bit. How about this review? It's all opened up now, just as I'm heading up the side of the moor. Absolutely stunning. This is right off the northern edge of the moor. And we're still heading up there. Now you can turn up there and just carve straight up the side of Cosdon Beacon, but there's not really a trail leading up there. Not on the map anyway, and not that I can see in real life. But if we head out this way, up this trail, it should join us up with a trail that leads up to the top of Cosdon Beacon from out near Bellstone. It's the village of Bellstone, which is like 2 villages along from South Zeal. You've got Sickle Path in the middle, and that trail kind of leads up from the Bellstone Cleave and joins up with this trail to head up the side of Cosdon Beacon. I think that's probably going to be the smartest route up, rather than just carving straight up the side through all the bracken and the heather on the side of Cosdon Beacon there. Oh no, little lamb's hurt its foot. You okay, buddy? Hello? Poor little guy. It always feels, even though the sun's just gone in, it feels warmer climbing up these little kind of gullies, if you like, where you're enclosed on both sides. I think it just traps the heat. Feels like the temperature rises by about 5 degrees as soon as you get into one. That's always the case on Dartmoor. As soon as you're enclosed, temperature shoots up. We'll be out into the open fairly soon, I think. These foxgloves, so beautiful, really vibrant. They've got the droplets of rain shimmering on them from the rain last night. Extremely poisonous though, so don't touch them if you see them out on the moor. Very poisonous. If you do touch them, wash your hands thoroughly afterwards before you eat anything or put your hands in your mouth or anything like that. But to be honest, you're best off just not touching them. But they're beautiful all the same. Beautiful but deadly. It's definitely a look but don't touch plant. All of a sudden it's looking very moorish around me. Look at this. We've broken out of this trail that comes up from South Zeal. That is South Zeal down there. That's where I've parked the car. So you can see how much climbing I've done already. And up there you can see how much I've got left to go. A lot of climbing in today's walk. We're making good progress. A lot of up this morning. But it's going to be, I think, mostly down after Cosdon Beacon until we come back up it again from the other side, and then it's obviously a big down on the way back to the car. But already the views are stunning. Look at that, with the sun out as well. Yeah, it's going to be a good walk, and the views from the top are going to be incredible. There's someone on the trail up in front of us as well, so we're not completely on our own today. I mean, we are on our own, but not completely. They're probably, what, quarter of a mile ahead? A lot further up the hill. Look at these views from up here. Absolutely stunning. Right down off the edge of the moor. That's South Zeal, where the car's parked. Somewhere down there in that village. And the views just stretch for miles and miles across North Devon. I think those hills right off on the horizon there, I'm pretty sure that's Exmoor. You can just about see it. It's incredible. It's patchwork of fields that's so common across England. We're very lucky to live where we do. And look up there, it's a standing stone of some kind, I think. Not going to be on our route today. It's impressive all the same. Standing guard on the northern edge of the moor, looking out across this view for millennia, I would imagine. It's amazing. This one's got a dodgy leg as well. What are they doing to him on this side of the moor? Must be a very dodgy footing for sheep around here, I guess. I can't actually see where the trail goes up in front, so it'll be fun picking my way through all this stuff. Nice backdrop to do it with though. That's why I do quite like being on the edge of the moor. As much as I like being out in the middle of the moor and having all the moorland views surrounding you, on the edge of the moor we get views like that. And that is incredible. It's just something a little bit different as well to always see in moorland. But I think on today's walk we're probably going to get the best of both, because we've got that view now, and when we get right up to the top we might still have that view. I would imagine we will. I don't know how far back over kind of the brow of the hill the actual summit is, like over the brow that I can see I should say, but I would imagine we'll still have a similar view to that, even if we can't see all the way down to South Zeal. But we'll also have the moorland views in the other direction, deeper into Dartmoor. That's worth sticking around for, surely. Slug on the trail, most of the way up Cosdon Beacon. If you watched the Dartmoor podcast, latest episode, which isn't a podcast by the way, you'll know that Dartmoor is actually home to the world's largest slugs, the Black Slug. That might have been one of them. That was a Black Slug. Whether or not it was the species designated as Black Slug is another matter. If you've not seen that episode, go and check it out, because it's an interesting one with a bit of a Dartmoor legend in there as well. And I never knew that we had the world's largest slugs right here on Dartmoor, although I do find plenty of big ones in my back garden, so I'm not overly shocked by finding that out. But it's still pretty amazing when you think of all the places in the world where there could be much larger slugs living, and we've got the biggest ones right here on this moorland. Look at that view. It's getting very steep now and I'm knackered, so I keep stopping, finding excuses to stop and talk to you. Not too far away from the top now, I don't think. Now, how about this for a view? You can see all the way over to Oakhampton. That's where I live, over there somewhere. These houses in the foreground, that's Belstone, beautiful little village right on the edge of the moor. And then these houses here, that's Stickle Path, it's another little village. And then over here we have South Zeal. And down there somewhere is where I parked my car. I think probably next to those playing fields over there. It was next to the recreational ground, I know that. So it's down there somewhere. I don't know if you can quite pick it up on the GoPro, but the summit has just come into view. The summit cairn, right at the top of Cosdon Beacon. We are very, very close now. And if you look out that way, the rest of the moor's starting to open up. We're getting those views that we haven't had yet. That's High Willows and Yes Tor, Whitmoor Tor, Hound Tor, the Belstone Tor Ridge. We're going to see it from the opposite side today, from where we usually see it. And Cosdon Beacon has always been this kind of figure looming in the background of my videos. I see it from all those tours when I've done them, but I've not been up here and shown you guys the view from the top yet. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, Cosdon Beacon, and then heading out along the ridgeline, Little Hound Tor and Hound Tor. And I'll show you that ridgeline and show you the views of those tours that we've already done from a different perspective, and maybe a few tours that we haven't done yet. Let's see what we can see from the top, shall we? Well, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is that this is a false summit. It's not actually the summit of Cosdon Beacon. It looks like it might be some kind of ancient burial ground or something. Maybe I'm wrong, but these stones look kind of deliberately placed. Those ones are obviously deliberately placed. But it's not the summit, it's a false summit. The good news is, that's the summit just there, with the trig point. So we've not got far to go, nearly there, and almost all the climbing done until we come back up Cosdon Beacon later on. Well, here we are, Cosdon Beacon, the highest point on today's walk. There's a couple of windbreaks down the bottom here, big cairn of stones. Head up to the trig point first, I think. This is Cosdon Beacon. Completed it, mate. Oh, there's a big old trig point as well. Look at these views. I was right, we can't see all the way down to South Zeal from here. That's down over that way beneath the full summit, but the views are incredible. Amazing, really. Let's get up on top of the rock cairn as well, which is the true highest point. Oh, it's a sheep's toilet. A poop with a view. Oh, here we are. Now this is going to be a tough view to beat for the rest of the day. Absolutely amazing up here. How about this for a view from the summit of Cosdon Beacon? There's a Bellstone village down there. It's very windy up here, by the way, I hope you can hear me. It's Bellstone village. Got Oakhampton off in the background there somewhere. That's Bellstone Tor, or the Bellstone Ridge I should say. You got Bellstone Common Tor along there, that's Bellstone Tor itself. Got the Irishman's Wall running up the side, clear as day from here. Got Higher Tor just along here, off the side of Bellstone Tor. In the background you got Row Tor just there, Westmill Tor up above it, and then all the way up to Yes Tor and High Willows off in the distance, highest point on Dartmoor. In the background over here is Oakman Hill. That's the bunker that we were at last week, deep out into the moor. This is Steeperton Tor in the foreground. We haven't been there yet. Just down here off the side of Cosdon Beacon, that's Kennan Hill, where we went a couple of weeks ago, which means rival Tor's down behind it somewhere. Behind Kennan Hill you can see all the way out to Cosdon Rock right there, and in the background right on the horizon that's Hay Tor, one of the most recognisable tors on Dartmoor, probably the most famous. And you can of course see right down off of the moor here as well. I think over there, that town that we can see, I think that's Shagford. It might be Moulton Hampstead, I think is the other one over there. I think that one's Shagford. That's where we've come from, down that way. Again, you can see right off of the moor here, right out across North Devon. That patchwork of fields in all directions. From here we can see all the way down the ridgeline and out to our final destination of the day, Hound Tor. Not the famous Hound Tor, more famous ones over by Hound Tor, but this is a Hound Tor on the North Moor, and we've seen it a few times, but we've never been out there. So that's where we're going to finish this walk. Well, I suppose that's going to be the halfway point of the walk really, because I'm gonna have to walk all the way back up over Cosdon Beacon and back down to South Zeal again after that to get back to the car. Well, there we have it, Cosdon Beacon, done and dusted. Stunning views, absolutely stunning. Some of the best I've seen on the channel so far. It's an amazing mix because you've got the views out across North Devon in that direction, just those patchworks of fields and the little towns and villages, and you can see all the way out to Exmoor right off in the distance. And then in this direction you have just this wild, desolate beauty of the North Moor of Dartmoor. You see all the way out to Hound Tor rocks on the horizon, and it's just incredible. The views are amazing. I'll never get tired of these views, never, 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 never. People ask me, like, do you ever get bored of walking out on Dartmoor, because you're always going up on Dartmoor? And I say no, because the views are so different in different places, and they don't have to be that far away from each other. I mean, we normally walk down there, that's my usual stomping ground. That's where most of the videos have been, down in that kind of North Moor military training area, just because it's so close to home for me. It's nice and easy access to get to. But yeah, up here we can see that area of the moor. It's only probably about a mile away as the crow flies, but it's so different up here. The views are so different. It really is stunning. Now we've started making our way down the side of Cosdon Beacon, on the south side of it, heading out along the ridgeline to Little Hound Tor and eventually Hound Tor. This is the first bit of descent I've done on the entire route. I'm not kidding. When I got to the top of Cosdon Beacon, the ascent was showing us 1,200 feet of elevation gain in 2.3 miles from the car park. It clicked over to 2.4 just as I started walking down. So yeah, 1,200 feet of elevation gain in 2.3 miles. Took me an hour to get up there, so a decent amount of walking, but a decent pace as well, considering the amount of elevation gain and the fact that I was stopping to film bits here and there as well. And it was showing 1,200 feet of elevation gain and 0 feet of descent. Didn't go down once, not even like a little dip in the landscape, nothing. Just all up, straight up. Surely that's worth a like and a subscribe. We've got more views to come, and we've got 2 tours to come as well. Cosdon Beacon isn't a tour, technically, it's a hill, so it's not part of the tour of the tours, but I've got 2 tours left to go on this walk, Little Hound Tor and Hound Tor. And I think I saw on the map that there's a stone circle down here by Little Hound Tor, so I might have a look at that as well. I'll put my fleece on now. It's really windy all of a sudden. I mean, it was windy on top of Cosdon Beacon, but you expect that when you're up on the top of the hill on the summit. You get the same on the tours as well. But even kind of walking down this ridgeline here, off the side of Cosdon Beacon down towards Little Hound Tor and eventually up to Hound Tor, it's really windy and the temperature's dropped massively. Sun's gone in, very cloudy now. Chances of rain, hopefully we won't get any, but it is Dartmoor, so you never know. The views are still gorgeous in pretty much every direction. They've just disappeared as I'm saying that, off in that direction behind the hill, but over that way got lovely views. Well, Well, there's a reason that I couldn't see Little Hound Tor from over the brow of the hill. That's because there it is, that little lump there. But we don't discriminate on this channel, so I'm going up here anyway. We've still bagged it, and it is Tor number 39. Bagged and done. Little Hound Tor. What a rock formation, eh? I'll tell you what, if ever a Tor deserved the little title, this is it. Not a bad view actually, looking down the valley between Stone Tor and Cosdon Beacon. But a very small Tor, not much to write home about. But it's Tor number 39 bagged. This is the view from the top. Hound Tor next, which is just over there in the semi-sunlight. There's a few drops of rain. That is the Stone Circle. Maybe go have a look at that as well. Well, here's the Stone Circle. I'm not sure what it's called. Hound Tor Stone Circle maybe? Would make sense, Hound Tor's just up there on the hill. It's an impressive one. Nice and easy to pick out. And look, the grass doesn't grow the same inside the circle as it does outside. I'm not sure if that's manually kept like that, or if it's just a quirk. Maybe the ancients knew something that we don't about this place. There go the horses. I've just taken a group photo of their group. I'm assuming it's a local riding group inside the Stone Circle just back there. Beautiful animals, they really are. Absolutely stunning, very friendly people as well. And we are on the final, I was going to say final climb, it's not the final climb. It's the ascent up to Hound Tor. Then we've got to come back down and then climb back up to Little Hound Tor, and then back down and then back up to Cosdon Beacon, and then drop down to the car. But it's the final tour of the day, tour number 40 of our tour of the tours on Dartmoor, Hound Tor. Let's go bag it. Hello. It's rude to stare. They're funny animals, aren't they? Oh, right, we're nearly up at Hound Tor now. A beautiful view of Steeperton Tor, just over yonder. Beautiful view back actually. It still looks very barren where we've come from, and to be fair, it's quite a barren walk I would say today. But look at that over there, down into the valley. Well, here it is, Hound Tor. The wind's getting up just as I approach the top. Yeah, see what the views are like from the top of this, but this will be as far as we go on the walk today. It's all back towards the car after this. Just an out and back, not a loop walk unfortunately today. Which I know a circular walk's always better for a video, just because it means I can show you new stuff the whole way around. But sometimes it's just not practical, and today really with this route it's an out and back unfortunately, but it is what it is. Some gorgeous views behind me here, hopefully about to have some gorgeous views in front of me as well. So here we go, Hound Tor, tour number 40 in the tour of the tours, bagged. Here we are. the biggest rock formations, but a gorgeous tour all the same. That's Steeperton Tor over there, Wild Tor out that way if we follow the trail further out, Watton Tor up on the hill. Down that way, I'll get the other camera out in a minute. That's Rival Tor over there, Kennan Hill up there. We've done that, we've done those bits. And the sun's out, kind of, a little bit. Very windy though. That's where we've come from, Cosdon Beacon, right up on top of the hill there. You can see all the way down from here into the valley between Cosdon Beacon and the Belstone Tor ridge over there. And further along that ridge line, we've got Oakey Tor. If you can hear me over the wind, that's Oakey Tor there. That's Row Tor in the background off to the right, West Mill Tor off to the left. This is East Mill Tor, kind of in the foreground here, with Yes Tor behind it. That's that trail that we headed up, the steep part of the trail between Yes Tor and High Willows. That is High Willows over there. And you got Steeperton Tor just here, closest we've ever been to it, I think. You can see it nice and clearly. Gorgeous tour, this one, absolutely stunning. And you can actually see just over there, that's Oakman Hill. The bunker on top of it, that's the trail that we climbed up, zigzagging its way up the hill. And then over here you've got Wild Tor just in front of us here, behind all the cows, which are all laying down. That's a bad sign. Hanging Stone Hill behind it. And then over here, Watton Tor. Looking off in this direction to the east of Hound Tor, that's Kennan Hill. That's the trail that we came down actually from the summit. It was 2 weeks ago we did that one, 3 weeks ago maybe, 2 weeks ago I think it was. And then we headed all the way out here to there, that's Rival Tor. Looks tiny from up here, doesn't it? Or Ripper Tor as it's also known. You can see Kestor Rock in the background there. Looking absolutely beautiful in the sunlight. And those woods are a bat-worthy corner. It really is beautiful out here, but you really do feel remote out on Hound Tor. There isn't much around in any direction. And not a soul to be seen. I'm heading down now from Hound Tor back towards the car. Little Hound Tor, back up over Cosdon Beacon, looking a big climb again from here. Not as big a climb as this morning, but still a climb. That's 40 tours down now on the tour of the tours. Loads more to go, loads more, plenty more content to come, lots more walks, lots more adventures. Yeah, loads more to do. It's been a beautiful walk today. I wish the sun had been out a little bit more, but you can't have everything, can you? It's been very windy as well, so I'm hoping you can hear all the bits I've done to camera. There's no one around at the moment, not a soul. Couldn't see anyone from the top of Hound Tor, not even zooming in on all the other tours that we can see from there. There's just no one about. I saw that group of horse riders come past at the Stone Circle, and before that I saw two runners up at the top of Cosdon Beacon. They kind of came up and then turned at the top and went off down to the side. But other than that, and that one hiker that I saw right at the beginning of the walk, well, not right at the beginning, but you know, not long after I started filming, when I first got up onto the moor, just saw him going over the brow of the hill on Cosdon Beacon. And other than them, I've not seen anyone else. And it's not super early either, but in fact, what is the time? I've looked at my Garmin, but that's doing the tracking. It is 11:15. I've been walking for 2.5 hours. And what a beautiful walk it's been. I've seen some amazing views. There's some sunlight over there, look, on Whitmoor Tor at the moment. That's hopefully coming our way. Direction the wind's blowing from, so that gap in the clouds maybe will make its way over here. Yeah, the views, I mean, the views from Little Hound Tor were okay. Little Hound Tor's not much to write home about. The views from Hound Tor are beautiful. They really are. Very wild, very desolate, very barren. Classic North Dartmoor views. The views from Cosdon Beacon are brilliant because you've got that mix of the desolate North Moor to the south, and then you've got North Devon to the north, and the patchwork of fields that you're looking out over, and you're so high up above them. And I climbed all of that. I climbed all of that this morning, 1,200 feet of climbing to get up to the top of Cosdon Beacon, and I've got to drop down all of that on the way back, of course. And yeah, we'll see how my knees are feeling at the end of it, because sometimes, I don't know if you guys ever find this, let me know in the comments if you do, but sometimes the going down is almost as hard as the going up, because you've got that impact on your knees, on your ankles, all your joints really. And certainly if you've got slightly loose shoes, if your shoes have not quite been done up tight enough, the laces, your feet slip about in the shoes a little bit, and I find sometimes you can end up with your toes kind of smashing against the front of your foot. You have to stop and retie your shoes quite often. That's what I get anyway, and I buy between a size and a half size bigger in hiking shoes as well, to like normal trainers or other shoes, just because when you hike your feet swell up. So if I buy the same size shoes as normal, then I end up, yeah, with like black toenails. As grim as that is, sorry if you're eating while you're watching this, but yeah, toes just slam into the front of my shoes when I'm on a descent, and it's very painful as well. But yeah, normally I wear between sort of an 11 and 11.5 in normal shoes and a 12 in trainers, but all my hiking boots are a 12.5, or hiking shoes as well I should say, not just hiking boots, but they're all a 12.5. I've even got a 13 in a couple of pairs, just because, yeah, otherwise when your feet swell up they don't fit anymore halfway through your hike. And if you're out in the middle of nowhere, if you're out somewhere like this and you've got miles to walk back to the car, and all of a sudden your feet aren't fitting in your shoes properly, that's a painful walk back. Yeah, let me know if any of you guys have that kind of issue, and if there's anything you do about it, and let me know as well if any of you find it harder going, or almost as hard I should say, going downhill as going up, because I think going uphill is a bit of a lung buster, going downhill is a bit of a knee buster. Oh, we're getting some blue sky now. Look at these views. That's the climb I've got ahead of me, up to the top of Cosdon Beacon, and then it is quite literally all downhill from there. But one big push to get up to the top again, and then we're done with the climbing for today. Oh, well, as you've just seen, stopped on top of Cosdon Beacon for a drink and a few snacks with a beautiful view. Now I'm heading off, leaving the summit of Cosdon Beacon behind, just behind me there, and heading off. I can see that false summit just on the horizon, and then we'll be heading back down the side of Cosdon Beacon, back to the car in South Zeal, which still feels like a long way away. It's only a couple of miles and it's all downhill, but yeah, it still feels like a long way. What a lovely walk. I'm almost back down off of the moor now, so I think that'll probably do it for me. I'll sign off here, probably leave you with a compilation of a few more clips as I'm making my way back. I want to say thank you very much to everyone for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching the video as much as I enjoyed filming it. And if you did like the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and stay tuned, because there's plenty more hikes to do. I'll see you again soon for another adventure. Cheers.